Social selling is the idea of taking social media and applying it to the selling process. Most financial professionals have a process for how they're developing relationships, how they're looking for prospects, developing their pipeline, doing some research on those prospects, and then engaging in a relationship with them. And then when the time is right, looking for a way to work with that individual. If you really look at social media, it's really a broad categorization of a lot of different platforms. Everything from LinkedIn and Twitter all the way to Pinterest and Facebook. But what social selling is doing is taking these social media platforms, these tools, and again, going, how can we leverage these tools to develop better communication with the people that we'd like to work with those prospects, with our existing clients, and using it to really develop a conversation with those individuals in a way that up until now we haven't had an opportunity to do. LinkedIn can really help financial professionals because it really has become the accepted professional social networking site. You know, there's a lot of different sites that are out there. The landscape is wide and varied. But on LinkedIn, we've all kind of agreed that this is where we're going to talk about professional topics, just like if we went to a Chamber of Commerce meeting or a professional conference. And so LinkedIn actually gives financial professionals a few really big opportunities. One is the ability to simply put their information out into the world 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you think about a LinkedIn profile, it's always up, it's always available. And when used right, when there's some strategy behind the messaging that's on an individual's LinkedIn profile, it can really share a lot about how that financial professional, in this case, can help their clients, can help their prospects. It's a huge opportunity for them to develop that connection without actually putting any work in actively. It's really a passive tool. And then the next step is to take it from playing defense to playing offense. And of course, when I talk about playing offense, I mean the ability to go out and share that message actively, whether it's using tools like the status updates, which is an amazing opportunity to share information, using the newsfeed, which shows the status updates that the rest of their network is putting out there. I mean, the amount of information that we're sharing is amazing. Something that came up recently was talking with a financial professional who was actually able to re-engage in a sales process because he saw that one of his contacts had just changed jobs. They'd posted on LinkedIn. He sent a quick message, hey, congratulations on the new position. Hey, if there's anything I can help you with as you're transitioning 401k over or anything like that, let me know. That person reached out. They could restart that conversation. And again, going back to this idea of social selling, where you use social media to find those selling cues, it was a huge opportunity, a huge win for that advisor. So there's a lot of different ways that individuals can use LinkedIn to take their business to the next level. Whether again they want to just touch on it briefly and use it, a few times a week, or whether it becomes an integral part of their sales process, where they're on it daily. They're interacting with their connections, they're building their network, they're putting their messages out there, their content. Becomes a great way of becoming a content provider and a subject matter expert, which is also a great way of developing their brand message, their niche. So really just a lot of different ways you can use LinkedIn to take your business to the next level. There's a number of really important concepts to keep in mind when developing a LinkedIn profile. The biggest mistake I see with a LinkedIn profile is actually not in the tactical execution, but in the fact that very often people don't think strategically about their profile before they actually create one. Just like you wouldn't create a website without thinking about what you're trying to tell your visitors. You want to make sure that you know exactly who you're talking to and what you're trying to tell them. One of the biggest mistakes that I see financial professionals make is they try to be everything to everyone. And I always say that makes you nothing to nobody, right? So the first thing to do really when creating a LinkedIn profile is go, who do I need to talk to? Who, of the many visitors to my LinkedIn profile am I really trying to connect with? Once you've figured that out, once you've realized who that target audience is, then you go, what's the message I need to share with them? When you have those two pieces of information, the profile actually becomes very easy to create because everything should be in line with the answers to those strategic questions. A couple of simple best practices, places that people should start, obviously making sure you have a great photo. People always ask, what's the perfect photo? There isn't a perfect photo. It's about having one that's consistent with your profile. If you want to talk about yourself, for example, as a trusted advisor, right? Somebody that, as a financial professional, people can come and trust you with really important subjects. If there's a picture of you on a beach somewhere in shorts and a ripped up t-shirt, that's not consistent with the message. So making sure you have that photo that it shows competence, it's polished, it's approachable. So an important part is the headline. Something that often is overlooked, but the headline, which comes right after a person's name, is actually the most viewed part of a LinkedIn profile. They've done the studies that show that people's eyes stay on the headline more than any other part of a profile. Most individuals leave it at the default, which is just a current position and company. But if you think about it, if it says financial professional, that doesn't tell me as the visitor much. You really want to frame your profile, just like a newspaper article is framed by the headline. So that's another great opportunity to talk about the specific markets you work with, to talk about how you help people, what you help them with, and really to engage that visitor right away. The other really important place to look on a profile is actually the summary. And most professionals don't even use a summary, but it's 2,000 characters where you get to speak directly to that audience and tell them exactly what you want. One of the things that I always tell individuals when they're trying to craft a summary, because we aren't good at writing about ourselves. We all kind of have a block there. But the easiest way of crafting this is simply to go, if I had that perfect person that I wanted to communicate sitting across the table from me, whether it's a client, a prospect, whoever it might be, what would I tell them? And that's what should be in your summary, because that's your opportunity to talk directly to them and say, this is why you should work with me. This is what makes me better. This is what sets me apart from the rest of the pack, so to speak. This is why you should engage with me. And those three areas on a profile, the headline, the photo, and then the summary, if you get those three right, that's about 80% of the way there. And if you can get those right, you're going to make a great impression when people are visiting your profile.